on this very special and significant day, it is particularly my privilege and my pleasure to say happy LCSL annual meeting day, beautiful people. I am Reverend Vicki Jeter, your minister for Louisville Center for Spiritual Living. And I particularly want to thank you all for being here today to share this very important time with us. We welcome you here on this Sunday, August the 10th, 2025. We welcome all paths to God. We welcome your challenges and your questions. All pieces and paths of spirit, all areas of life, and all parts of ourselves are essential to a world that works for all beings. So whether you're here with us for the first time or if you're watching us on YouTube, we thank you for being with us because you are why we are here. And today, being our annual meeting, is particularly important because I was thinking about this earlier this morning. It's one meeting out of, what's 52 weeks a year. It's a 53rd meeting for that people can come to that takes a look at vitality of our structure, which is so incredibly important. So the order of our service today, because we're doing the annual meeting, is different than a regular Sunday. And we're not centered around an inspirational spiritual topic. We're centered around the health and vitality of the structure of the center. So we'll be taking all the steps of our service that we normally do. A whole bunch of them come before the message normally, and then a whole other batch of them happen after. And today, all of those will happen before because we want to have dedicated time to the actual meeting. And our practitioner of the day today is Miss Tammy Evans, and she will be available as normal after service for anyone who would like individual prayer support. And with all of that in mind, I just want to invite you to take a pausing breath or two as we begin to shift coming into opening prayer. Take a moment to check in and see what brought you to be with us today. Our shared intention is to deeply and richly honor the balance of the structural health of LCSL and our lives so that we are able to have the means to share and grow spiritually as community. Because even though we know that everything emerges from the spiritual side, and we have the templates of then how that manifests in physical form, without the physical forms, we wouldn't be able to be doing this. Without the physical form of our body, we wouldn't be able to have relationship. Without the physical forms of our homes and our businesses, we would not be able to do what we do here on earth. And that is as much true for spiritual centers and churches as it is anything else. So with all of that in mind, we stop and remember to begin at the beginning, which is in communion with Spirit in prayer. And so it is with a grateful heart that I take this opportunity to open this service. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Presence of Life, for the opportunity to live this life, for the opportunity to have the experience of autonomy while we are in fact one with all that is. We should have such challenges as that brings about because it is the ever flowing gift of life to us, and our willingness to experience those challenges is our gift to God. And this particular day, addressing the physical and financial health of the center is among those gifts. It's among that process of maintenance, of taking care of things. And so individually and collectively, we're grateful. And I simply release the word, knowing that we are guided and directed to the highest and best for each other and for LCSL as an entity now and moving forward. I release it, I let it be, and so it is. And now we will have our opening song, You Are the Light, with Miss Denise Rosier.
You change dust into gardens, pieces into peace, tears into fountains, chains into release. Doubt into action, vision renewed, perfect creation, unfolding in you. You hold all of heaven inside you, no matter down to ashes, you rise again. You are the light of God, the power of prayer lifted up. Every breath testifies you are the light. You are the light. You are the light. You hold all of heaven inside you, no matter what you go through. And if your dreams burn down to ashes, rise again. You are the light of God, the power of prayer lifted up. Every breath testifies you are the light. You are the light. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. You are the light of God, the power of prayer lifted up. Every breath testifies you are the light. You are the light. You are the light. You are the light, the light. Dust into gardens, pieces into peace.
And this serenades us right into our mission and vision. The mission of Louisville Center for Spiritual Living is to teach personal transformation as a virtual community, living the principles of science of mind and celebrating all paths to God, which manifests our vision of a world that honors and respects all people. And with that, it is my great pleasure to turn this over to our practitioner of the week, Miss Tammy Evans, who will begin with announcements.
Good morning, everyone. Next week's speaker is our own Reverend Vicki Jeter. It's the Homecoming Sunday, and the subject is Soaring in Love. And next weekend is our in-person gathering, actually the end of this week, at Joan Durbin's Treehouse. Afternoons and evenings, the weekend of August 16th through 17th.
We're going to let Joan talk to you.
And more about it, the afternoon of Saturday, there's a woman gathering at Jones and men's gathering at Steve Smooski's. I didn't say that right. I botched it, but it's at Steve's. Both gatherings are at 1. Steve's address is 1701 Lynn Way in Louisville. Please RSVP if possible. Phone or text 502-905-3258. The evening of Saturday, August 16th, we're all meeting for dinner at the Olive Garden, 1320 South Hurstbourne Parkway. And please RSVP for that if possible, so we can plan the amount of people we expect. And then Sunday afternoon, the 17th, beginning at 4, all are invited to Jones Treehouse for a potluck dinner. Jones' address is 985 Cedar Creek Road in Louisville. Please RSVP to all of that.
And yes, and you did a beautiful job with that, Tammy. We're going to turn this over for just a moment to Joan, who would like to embellish it somewhat.
Good morning, beautiful people. It's so good to see you all. The tree house is already rocking. Grandmother Tree, I told her people are coming and she will draw you here. Last year, the potluck, there was so much food. Everybody bring a dish. It all seems to work out. And then Saturday, we go to Olive Garden. And those of us that love to dance or just want to go over and watch others dance, we are going to Captain's Quarters after supper and do some dancing. And then after that, anybody is welcome to come to our treehouse after the dancing. Last year, a few people did. And I understand they had a marvelous conversation up into the wee hours. I myself probably will go to bed, but I can sleep like a baby. So plan to come over here then if you want to. Also Monday, my neighbor next door has graciously told me they're like family. So we can go over there and swim after breakfast.
I think Joan froze.
The parking in the yard will be in the front yard some this year, not just the driveway. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. The parking will be some in the front yard. We will have some caution tape up there to kind of guide you, but also on the driveway. But we will leave room at the beginning of the driveway, of course, to allow people to come in and out. And I think that's it. I'm so excited. Can't wait to see you all.
So if there might need to be additional discussion for any one of you, if you can stay for sharing time, because we're all about talking about what people might need to have this go well. Thank you so much, Joan. We'll be hearing more from Joan later when our actual meeting starts. And so now we're ready to go to the next slide, Vernon.
And the Revolutionary Agreements book study is starting Saturday, August 23rd at 11 a.m. Eastern for 8 weeks. We will be listening to the book together on Audible on this Zoom. Now, please always remember and don't ever forget that you are magnificent. And now it's the time for the giving of our gifts. Thank you for all the ways you give to LCSL. The ways to give are on the screen and in the chat. And please also, along with the snail mail of LCSL, P.O. Box 43958, Louisville, Kentucky 40253. Now please join me in affirming today's affirmation. I am grateful to have been loved and to be loved now and to be able to love, because love liberates all as the source of all abundance. And now I pass to Vicki for the blessing of the offering.
So often at this moment, I know the offering has already been blessed. Still, just acknowledging this little basket that multiplies all the time, talents, and treasures that come through here. And we then disperse them out to the surrounding community and to the region around us. So incredibly grateful for everything that is given and received here. And, as we talk about all of this through the meeting, whether we're talking about time, talents, or financial treasures, it's all equally valued, and it all flows through this little multiplied basket that is then taken by Spirit and exponentially multiplied. Thank you, Presence of Life, for all of it and more. I let it be, and so it is. This is a lovely, lovely new song. And I just have to tell you, because synchronicities are so powerful. Last year at this time, when we were doing our annual meeting, first of all, it was exactly the same time of year. And our special music that day was also the song Dare to Dream, but it was the song Dare to Dream that Melba Harris wrote and sung for us. And this year, I found this song. It is absolutely beautiful, also called Dare to Dream. And this was somebody wrote this for schools, but it doesn't say who the artist was. So just take this in as a little bit of an interesting mystery.
I am my own believer, in my heart the reason. Now I follow the light from within. I'm not afraid of weakness. I'm gonna taste the sweetness of the power not to give in. Oh, I will see it through. I believe this is my moment of truth. Dare to dream, dare to fly, dare to be the ever chosen one to
Okay, now we're going to share our declaration of principles. The first one is the one that was written by Ernest Holmes. The second one will be by what was written by Edward Vion. So I believe in God, the Almighty One, destructible, absolute, and self-existent cause. This one manifests itself in and through all creation, but is not absorbed by its creation. The manifest universe is the body of God. It is the logical and necessary outcome of the infinite knowingness of God. I believe the incarnation of spirit in all beings, and that every person is the incarnation of the one spirit. I believe in the internality, the immortality, and the continuity of individual soul, forever and ever expanding. I believe that the kingdom of heaven is within us, and that I experience this kingdom to the degree that I become conscious of it. I believe that the ultimate goal in life is to be a complete emancipation from all discord of every nature, and that this goal is sure to be attained by all. I believe in the unity of all life, and that the highest God and the innermost God is one God. I believe that God is personal to all who feel this indwelling presence. I believe in the direct revelation of truth through the intuitive and the spiritual nature of humanity, and that any person may become a revealer of truth who lives in close contact with the indwelling God. I believe that the universal spirit, which is God, operates through a universal mind, which is the law of God. And I'm surrounded by this creative mind, which receives the direct impress of my thought and acts upon it. I believe in the demonstration of healing through the power of this mind. I believe in the control of conditions through the power of this mind. I believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the eternal givingness of life to all. I believe in my own soul, my own spirit, and my own destiny, for I understand that my life is God. And now for Dr. Edward Young's Declaration of Principles. We envision all people, all beings, and all life as expressions of God. We see a world in which each person lives in alignment with their highest spiritual principles, emphasizing unity with God and connection with each other. A world in which individually and collectively we are called to a higher state of consciousness and action. We envision humanity awakening to its spiritual magnificence and discovering the creative power of thought. A world where every person discovers their own personal power and the ability to create an individual life that works within a world that works for everyone. We envision a world in which we live and grow as one global family that respects and honors the interconnectedness of all life. A world where this kinship with all life prospers and connects through the guidance of spiritual wisdom and experience. We envision a world where personal responsibility joins with social conscience in every area of the political, corporate, academic, and social sectors, providing sustainable structures to further the emerging global consciousness. We envision a world where every person has enough food, a home, a sense of belonging, a world of peace and harmony, enfranchisement and justice. We envision a world in which resources are valued, cared for, and grown, and where there is a generous and continuous sharing of these resources. We envision a worldwide collaboration in which forgiveness is the norm. We envision a world which has renewed its emphasis on beauty and nature and love through the resurgence of creativity, art, and aesthetics. We envision a world that works for all. Now for the financial declarations. Abundance of God. I believe there is only one God, and the nature of God is infinite abundance. Oneness with God. I believe that I am one with the life that is God. Therefore, I live and move and breathe and have my being in God. Individuality. I believe that I am an individualized character of expression for the life that is God. Therefore, I am a center of expression for His infinitely abundant nature. Awareness. I believe that my awareness of my oneness with God is the source of my abundance. Therefore, this awareness is my abundance. Circulation. I believe that money is God's idea of circulation in the body of my affairs. Therefore, I am the center for the circulation of God's abundance in the form of money. Abundance is now. I believe that there is no reality in lack. Therefore, abundance is manifest here and now in my financial affairs, awaiting my awareness of it. Abundant support. I believe that spirit always supports its own expression. Therefore, it must abundantly support its highest expression through me. Always enough to do good. I believe that the infinite resource of spirit is equal to every demand placed upon it. Therefore, there is always enough money for me to do good in the world. Universal law. I believe that money operates in accordance with universal law. Therefore, I am prospered by my understanding and right use of law. Willingness and worthiness. I believe that whoever is willing to bring the quality of God into expression is worthy of experiencing them. Therefore, because I am willing to prosper others, I am worthy of being prospered in return. Order. I believe that order is the first law of heaven. Therefore, I am a center of expression for order in my financial affairs. Balance. I believe the activity of spirit is always harmonious and balanced. Therefore, I am the center of expression of balance in my financial affairs. Expansion. I believe that spirit is forever creating, forever changing, and forever becoming more of itself through that which I am. Therefore, I know that this creative expansion and self-giving nature is working through my financial affairs. Acceptance. I am willing to open my mind and heart to accept the truth that has been stated here. I am grateful God is gracious. And so it is. Amen.
I am willing to accept the truth that has been stated here, as I know that God is gracious. Amen. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Tammy. Now we move into our financial reports and our updates with regard to what 2024 had to offer and how that unfolded, and then we'll do an update from the beginning of 2025 to today. So first, we're going to do a review of 2024. Next slide, please, Vernon. And of course, we launch all new beginnings on gratitude. Thank you to everyone who works to make our community great. And that is each and every one of you through Louisville Center for Spiritual Living, the people who are here and the people who are our community that we don't necessarily see real often. It's everybody. Next slide, please. So this was your board in 2024. And so as you see all these lovely faces, you've probably been, most of you have been aware that this was our board. Pam Sweeney at that time was our treasurer, and there has been evolvement in the board from that position through to some changes that have happened, and I'll go over those when we get to 2025. But we want to just bless these people who did 2024 such a beautiful job. And I elected to keep those two squares there because not long after this meeting, we will be rolling into new board members for this coming year. So those spaces, kind of like the empty chair and the circle that you want to leave open for people to come, we have room on our board for those that Spirit may inspire. Next slide, please, Ronan. And this was our practitioner team for 2024. As you see, there's Miss Tammy Evans and our second Tammy Ellis, and Katrina. And then through 2024, officially, Tammy Seppenfield and Pat Ferguson were practitioners for us. They were on sabbatical. And this is my time to be able to let you know that they are still members of our community. They are going to, both of them, retire from their licenses as active practitioners. So moving into the beginning of this year and on from here, we actually have 3 active practitioners. And thank you to all of these lovely beings, and blessings to Tammy and Pat as they are on their way to what's next for them. Next slide, please, Vernon. So same, we're also grateful through 2024 to our tech team, and our tech team is encompassed by Vernon as the wizard, and then also the people who let people in on Sundays. And for 2024, that was predominantly Katrina and Pam. Thank you. Next slide, please. And now we come to our monthly attendance for 2024. And there are some just really fascinating things in synchronicity that are happening with our numbers, both in people and in finances. So for 2024, we had an average of 21.5. Oh, I'm sorry, I got that wrong. 21.4 people per Sunday throughout 2024. In 2023, it was 21.5. It's almost exactly the same number of people. That is our average attendance on Sundays, which just absolutely amazed me. In the totals for 2025, the total number of people that attended on just on Sundays was 1,119. And then for 2024, the total was 1,115. So officially speaking, as far as what we were able to track, we had 4 people fewer throughout the year in 2024 than we had in 2023, which is just amazing. Go ahead to the next slide, Vernon. Now we move into our financial report, and for 2024, you might have seen on the slide, Doug Iveson was our president, and he is present and available today to report to you all from that position what happened for us in 2024. Doug?
Hi, can I be heard easily?
Yes.
Okay, great. Vernon, next slide, please. So this is intended, these next two slides are intended to be a comparison of a full year to a full year. So looking first at 2023, the Sunday offerings were around 40,000. There was fundraising through some of our consumables where you can sign up to have Kroger donate or have Amazon donate. These are opportunities that you can automate some of your giving through your purchasing. We had classes and workshops which are often love offering, like you donate as you choose, and those were 3,500. And so our income total for 2023 was around 44,000. And Vernon, next slide, please. Looking at 2024, the Sunday offerings were at about 32,000. The fundraising through Kroger and Amazon was about 161. Classes and workshops, about 2,000. And the income total is very close to a $10,000 drop. For 2024, that total was about 34,000. Vernon, next slide, please. So this is a breakdown of 2024. Our current president, Joan, will get into 2025. This is just so you know where our expenses are happening, and you get a sense of what you're supporting. There are salaries for the spiritual director. Now, remember, those of you who've been around for a while, that Vicky went through a title change when she completed her ordination. She had been our spiritual director through June and became our senior minister through December. So that's really, both those top two lines are paying for the person who's top coordinator and leader here. Tech support, Vernon and team does a lot more than just present the Zoom call. We have a website, we have our announcements on Facebook, we have other ways that we do outreach, like some of the people who have ended up here have ended up through Meetup. We have an admin assistant who helps. We do choose to have some outside speakers. That's something that we've spoken to you all, and the majority flow has seemed to be that we do want to continue to have occasional outside speakers. So we compensate those people basically using the going rate within Centers for Spiritual Living. We do have to pay for insurance as an organization. We have a professional accountant that Pat generously used to do all of that as our treasurer. We found that it was a lot for one person to handle, and so we currently have a professional accountant, and the treasurer coordinates with them, and so does Vicky. And then there's all this operations stuff that, this is a breakdown. Maybe that's TMI, but there you are. If you want to read the detail there, we do have to pay for Zoom, for example. If you want to do more than the very basic Zoom, you have to pay for it. We have classes. Again, some of the instruction is done by Vicky, and some of it is done by others in our community or special speakers that we have. Charitable giving, just as we advocate, and I know that this isn't my time to preach about this. I'm not going to go into it a whole lot. We do advocate for tithing of time, talents, treasures. And the center does the same thing. We tithe. We tithe 5% to the organization nationally and 5% to charities. And that was our 2024 total expenses at 42,000. Net loss represents what came out of savings rather than income, because the income was less than the expenses. And That's all there is on this 2024 budget review. Vernon, next slide, please. And turning it back to you, Vicki.
This next section is being supported predominantly by Joan, who is our current board president. I want to say thank you, Doug. Thank you for that review. And thank you for your presence as our president and maintaining on the board for this year. Doug is still a board member, although the presidency has transferred to Joan as well, actually, as the treasury. Joan is both our board president and our treasurer. And so I turn this over to you, Joan.
Good morning again, and thank you, Doug. That was very informative. I love knowing why we are spending money and what it's for. So Vernon, you can go to the next slide, please. Oh, yes, and Vicki is thanking the whole board. And oh yeah, this year we made the transition from a teaching chapter to we are now Louisville Center for Spiritual Living. Okay. Yes, and this is very important, very positive. Our giving increased in May, June, and July, and we did not have to go into savings. So that was wonderful. And next slide, Vernon, please. This is telling you, if you want to review this with me, 75 people are active in our community, and that includes 3 countries, yay, and 7 to 10 states. And you see our current programs that we have there. I think most of us are very familiar with them. Our first Wednesday, we have our sharing time, our classes, the Center for Spiritual Living home office and other centers. I get an email every week about different things. Wednesday, Wistful Wisdom. I have never attended that, but I know that's probably marvelous. And then we have our workshops and pet blessing, movie nights, and our in-person events like a gathering coming up this coming weekend. So we have been talking about maybe some new additions and new classes or workshops, book studies. Also a codependent 12-step program that is in the process of being talked about. And then I do believe Reverend Vicki and Katrina have been talking about the seeds of a children and families program, which would be marvelous. And then more in-person events. So the next slide, please, Vernon. This, if you look close here, is talking about how we do have YouTube, the 63 subscribers. I'm not sure how many we had last year, maybe 40 something. So that is gradually increasing. You can see how many recordings and the shorts. That's a short recording that Vernon puts up every month. And so that is helping our outreach with the YouTube. Facebook, 605 people are following us. And then we are on Google. Louisville Center for Spiritual Living comes up first. And yes, thank you very much, the wizard behind the curtain, Vernon. And you can go ahead, Vernon, please. So yes, I do take the role as treasurer. You know, money is one of our best friends. I love to talk about money. Reverend Vicki and I meet every week and go over our checking and our savings. So from January to June, next slide, Vernon, please.
If everybody can see the slide show, I'm getting a message. Not seeing the slide.
Okay, so we have at least one person that is not seeing these slides. Can we get a hand raise or something to indicate if people are not seeing the slides?
I've seen.
Or that we just need to know that you're seeing the slides. So raise your hand if you're seeing the slides.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so the person that's being challenged is going to be on your end.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. This, if you want to look at this with me, it's our income, our budget review. Sunday offerings are almost 14,000, fundraising 40, and then the classes that we've had, almost 700. That comes to a total of 14,644. Next slide, Vernon, please. This is back to our expenses, pretty much the same as what Doug had reviewed for us. This is for January through June of this year, and so obviously there's different numbers here. Down to bottom are our total expenses, 18,637, and we have had to take out of savings almost $4,000 in that 6 months. Next slide, Vernon. This is our savings account, which is very important. You can see from January of 23 all the way down to June of 25. So we were up at 13 and we are down to about 4,500 now. And next slide.
You're open.
Okay, so I'm going to take a pause here, Joan. I just want to emulate a little bit of what's being said here. Back on the previous slide with regard to what goes on for our insurance, we were paying our insurance yearly, and in 2023, our yearly insurance was $985, which we paid when it was due, right about this time of year, all at one time. One of the things that we've done to bring our expenses in line with our income is to begin paying that monthly. And that's why on that line there for insurance, you see it's shown as zero, because for this year, we haven't paid insurance yet. And so what's true is rather than having a $985 bill due right now, the insurance company, bless them, has permitted us to take that monthly starting in August rather than paying it all at one time in the year. So now we'll be paying $77 a month for our insurance, which ultimately comes out to be about $985 in a year. So that's one thing that is happening. And then the other thing I also wanted to point out, there, in 2024, we lost $7,000. In 2025, if those trends had continued, we would be losing about that much. We have discontinued losing money over the last 3 months. We, as Joan pointed out, we did not have to use savings. And some of the things that we've done to bring that in line are things like working with our insurance so it doesn't come all at once. And the classes and workshops right now, the facilitators of the classes and workshops are not being paid. And that's a choice that we've made in order to make it possible for us not to totally deplete our savings, because we needed to bring our expenses in line with our income. And also you'll see there where it says outside speakers have been paid $850. Since the beginning of this year, our speakers are generously donating their time. Reverend Carolyn donates her time. George donates his time when he speaks. Kelly Riska donated her time. But we have that amount there because we want to honor that they deserve to be paid. And what they have said is, we have taken the credit of what they would have been paid by us and shown it as donated back. Every single one of them has said, if you paid me, I would want to donate it back. So we have just been doing an accounting entry that allots for the idea that they have been paid and then they're donating it back. And that's shown up in what the center has received as a donation in income. And so that's what that $850 is. And I just wanted to point this out so that you all can see that gradually the losses that we're having are going to go down, and we are more in line with what our actual expenses are. And we will continue to monitor how that's going along the way. And this is why monthly now we take that third week of the month and we have a report to let you all know how we're doing for the month, so that we can absolutely aim for making sure that we have a balanced budget. Okay, now you can advance it, Vernon. Thank you.
We also storage unit.
Oh, and Vernon's pointing out another thing that we did. At one time, LCSL had a dedicated storage unit, because when we don't have a building, certainly there is all kinds of equipment and stuff, and we did have a dedicated storage unit, but we have discontinued paying storage, and Vernon and I have a storage unit because we're self-employed. So for the very same reason, we have a storage unit, and we presently are combining the center storage with our storage. So we got rid of that expense as well. And so then Joan had already gone over with you the savings. If anybody has questions about this, write them down. We're happy to go over it and talk to you more. Go ahead to the next one, Vernon. Oh, and so I think I'll give this back to Joan. This is where we're at now, as of right now, for
Mhm.
August.
Yes, you can see the monthly expenses we need for August, $3,200. And our income so far is $858. $859. And what is today, the 10th? So we have a little bit to go here. I'm sure people have not, everybody hasn't sent their tithe in for the month. And I love that at the bottom, many hands make light work, which is very true. Next slide, Vernon. This is about our unexpected income. Our goal was a $10,000. That means a total of what all that unexpected income was. And then you can see people sending in their 10% of that. We have reached almost $900. So that is awesome. That's amazing. And that's May through August of this year. And you can go to the next slide, Vernon, please. And this,
Okay.
yeah, you go ahead, Reverend Vicki.
Thank you, Joan. So as you can see, this is our current board. Many of these spaces are the same. Positions have changed somewhat. Joan is now our president and our treasurer. Cassie Bratcher has come on as our secretary. Bless you, Cassie. And Kelly Riska and Susan Dumar are members at large, which is very important because they represent the voice of the community that we serve, and they do that very well. Also, I did not get a chance to integrate into one of these slides. Kelly Riska is a volunteer with our pastoral program. We have a baby pastoral program, but we do have that, so that she often goes with me when we need to visit people for extra reasons. And I very much appreciate that. So I wanted to point that out too. And there again, you see the two spaces where new people are welcome to step up and come onto the board. If any of you ever have a question about why you would want to do that, you can talk to any of our current board members. It is a growth opportunity, and it is rich, and we do become a unit, a team that does some phenomenal things. And Vernon is pointing out, when Joan took the presidency, Doug slid into the vice presidency, which is equally of value, because if at any time Joan is not available, then he steps right back up where he was in 2024, which is very appreciated. Oh, go ahead to the next slide. And so, as I was pointing out before, this is our current practitioner team. And I am in prayer about attracting to us a couple more practitioners. Would be awesome. Our practitioners are fabulous. And as you might imagine, there are many, many things that they hold in their consciousness in prayer. And having a couple more dedicated practitioners would be a beautiful thing. Oh, and thank you, Doug. Doug is pointing out to me, Joan and I have been working so closely together that it's like a hand in a glove. And he is correct. I did not emphasize, thank God for Joan as our board president. She shadows me very closely and is probably the key person right now that keeps me from coming off the rails with the different things that we need to make sure are going well. And that's one other thing I wanted to point out. When Doug was doing 2024 and he said that there's an admin assistant, I had an admin assistant in 2024. Pam Sweeney was my admin assistant. In addition to what the board president was doing, that was him at that time. And I don't have an admin assistant right now. That's one thing we let go of in order to reduce our expenses. Overall, we reduced our expenses between 2024 and 2025. Our expenses were reduced by $3,500, and letting go of the admin assistant was one way that we did that. Go ahead to the next slide, Vernon. And so this is it's what we call the ITS team, the technical support team. These are the people that run Sundays and let you in. And this has expanded beautifully. We are most grateful for Katrina and Susan, who've been doing this the longest, and Tammy Ellis and Harry have recently come on. And that's a beautiful thing. We want to continue to see that expansion in all of our areas. Thank you so much. Next slide. So this is an image pictorially of the different things that we do. And this says, I was going to give this back to Joan as well. I'm looking here to see. My intention was to get an image of the Revolutionary Agreements book study that we're getting ready to start. And we haven't done our pet blessing yet for this year, but that's an intention that's going to be happening before the end of the year as well. Do you have anything to add there, Joan?
I just love seeing all these beautiful faces. Aren't they beautiful, huh? That's a great slide. Thank you.
Go ahead to the next slide. And so here's just some notes that I had so I don't forget. Such gratitude to all of these teams, our board, our practitioners, and the tech team, and everything that we've done in the last 12 months. I want you to know, as ever, my intention as your minister is for your experience of LCSL to be so valuable that you would not want to miss an opportunity. People are going to miss them, but I would like to have it be so important to you and have benefited your life so much that you would say, I would hope to be able to be there if I can. And then my intention is also for you to have such a personal connection of support through LCSL so that you know we care about what's happening for you individually and collectively. And the homecoming being our next event is coming up this weekend, of course. And so a special round of applause to our people who are putting together the homecoming event. Even for those of you who cannot be with us physically for these events, I want you all to know that my vision is that through the energy that happens at these gatherings, that we come to a place where those of you who, well, even the local people, can you imagine having 2 or 3 people with you on a Sunday as your own local group? And you can come to the same service together and then have that to talk about, and then do lunches or going to a movie together to have actual in-person community. That's one way that I see our community expanding. Go ahead to the next slide, Vernon. And so by January of 2026, these are the goals that we've set forth: to fulfill our current mission so that every member of LCSL is personally thriving, because the key, of course, to our collectively thriving as a community is that each of you are thriving. We want to increase our average Sunday attendance from, well, actually 21. That number got fudged a little bit. From 25 to 40, say 21 to 40 would be great. We want to increase the community being served from a total average of 75 up to 100. And that's the total cumulative, whether somebody comes one Sunday a month or every Sunday. That's the total there. We're still looking to expand our tech team so that we have a backup plan if ever Vernon can't be here, or if Vernon and I need to take a vacation and we actually are not here on a Sunday. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but we haven't actually both not been here on a Sunday ever, actually. And I just want to name, we are well aware that that doesn't speak very well to self-care. So in this case, do not do what do as we say and not as we do right now. But we're working on that, and Spirit's working on that through us. Again, looking to attract a couple more practitioners, and certainly that our income meets our expenses on a regular basis and more. Of course, we'd like to be bringing in some more than it takes us to operate, so we can expand into things like youth and family program. It will take funding to be able to do that. So we're not going to be able to say that the vision that Katrina mostly is holding with me is going to be actually acted upon until we have some extra funding to do it with. And so also getting back to actually being able to pay guest speakers, and the difference there. So we were paying an average of about $200 to $300 a month to have people like Reverend Dr. Ray come, or Reverend Tony LaMotta come and speak for us, and the other people that we had come speak for us as well. When we get back to having some extra funding, then we will get back to doing that as well. Okay, the next slide, please. So these are the ways that you can support our goals, take full advantage of our services and events, share information about LCSL, and if you need any assistance in how to share, and certainly only share places where you're comfortable. We're not trying to suggest that you post things places that's going to make you feel exposed. But if you feel comfortable, don't forget to share information about the center. Invite your friends and family to join us, either for our service events or for our more relaxed fun events like movie nights. Exposure is the key. Please do remember your giving when you are able to give. I know it can be really easy to kind of let the weeks and months go by and forget. It's extremely helpful to us when you don't forget, like when you go out of town and so forth, to do your tithing at whatever level you're comfortable to give. And participating in the unexpected income program for right now, officially that will go through the end of August, but of course any time is good. And then Vernon reminded me this morning, when you are engaging our YouTube or when you're on our Facebook page, hit the like. And if you're not subscribed, if you are comfortable subscribing, if you subscribe to our YouTube page or Facebook, all that means is that when there's a post, you're going to get notified. You can either respond to that or not. But if we have you subscribed, and if you like the things that you see, that assists us in other people out in the world seeing who and what we are. Did I say that well enough, Vernon?
It's the YouTube algorithm, not us, but YouTube
Okay,
algorithm.
and Vernon says that's not us. That's about how YouTube and Facebook handle it. Okay, that's good. Next. So thank you. This is officially the end of our meeting, and we are going to have time for questions. We're still going to do a closing song and a benediction. So if you have a burning desire question now, let me just ask you to hold it until sharing time, if you can, just a few more minutes, and then this will be more expedient. Our closing song is Give Yourself to Love by Miss Kate Wolf.
Kind friends all gathered round, there's something I would say, but what brings us together here has blessed us all today. Love has made a circle that holds us all inside, where strangers are as family, loneliness can't hide. You must give yourself to love, if love is what you're after. Open up your hearts to the tears and laughter, and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. I've walked these mountains in the rain, I've learned to love the wind, I've been up before the sunrise to watch the day begin. And I always knew I'd find you, though I never did know how. But like sunshine on a cloudy day, stand before me now. So give yourself to love, if love is what you're after. Open up your hearts to the tears and laughter, and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. Love is born in fire. It's planted like a seed. Love can't give you everything, but it gives you what you need. And love comes when you are ready. Love comes when you're afraid. It will be your greatest teacher, the best friend you have made. So give yourself to love, if love is what you're after. Open up your hearts to the tears and laughter, and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. Give yourself to love, if love is what you're after. Open up your hearts to the tears and laughter, and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love.
Say with me, if you are so inspired, our benediction. Infinite presence, I give thanks for divine spirit in us all. I affirm that we each find our unique way to give, serve, and love. I know that the divine takes pleasure in our inspired living, our intuitive actions, and the sound of our voices uplifted in joy. Amen.